So today I'm going to be talking about Sputnik Sweetheart by Haruki Murakami. After watching some of the brilliant Nathan Nook's videos, and if you haven't checked out his channel, I suggest you do it straight away, he has been reading or rereading Sputnik Sweetheart, and he just sold it to me. This will be my 5th Murakami book, and definitely the shortest one of his I've read. The novel centres around 3 characters. We have Kei, a quiet schoolteacher and our narrator. There's Sumire, his best friend and aspiring novelist. And Miyu, an older woman who Sumire falls in love with. Sumire becomes infatuated with Miyu after meeting her at a wedding, which leads her to follow Miyu to Europe as her personal assistant. The novel takes a mysterious turn when Sumire completely vanishes on a Greek island. Not knowing what to do, Miyu calls Kei, as it seems Kei is Sumire's only friend. And because Kei is secretly in love with Sumire, he travels to the island to uncover the truth. As Kei investigates, the story delves into themes of unrequited love, loneliness, and identity, and it also explores the mysterious borders between dreams and reality. In essence, this novel is a rather unique exploration of the love triangle trope. So what did I like and what didn't I like? What I liked? Well, of course, I absolutely loved and adored the prose. I just love Murakami's prose. I know there are some people out there and it's not for them, and that's totally cool, but I just will never get that because his novels are just so insanely readable. I just flow through them. I did this book in 2 sittings and it's just so easy because of his writing style. Now, obviously it's translated, etc., and there's something in the translation. However, every single Murakami book I've read, and I think they have been translated by different people, still flows to the same kind of rhythm. So yeah, it's just, his prose is absolutely delicious. It's never not going to be the thing that I mention first as one of the things I absolutely love. I really loved its exploration of loneliness and isolation. The characters seem to possess this emotional void in each of them that seems to manifest in different ways in each of them. In turn, this leads to a very reflective look at unfulfilled desires and sort of the inability to ever truly sort of know someone or possess someone or be with someone. Next up, I really enjoyed the atmospheric setting. With very few words, Murakami is able to really bring to life urban Japan, but then also the sort of quiet isolation of the Greek island. Both settings are vividly rendered, but at the same time, Murakami is able to sort of use these locations as a mirror to the sort of emotional landscapes of each character. The next thing I really enjoyed is Murakami's dreamlike quality to his novels, the sort of surrealism mixed with the reality that he's able to put in quite a lot of his work. This almost feels like it's got the sort of focus and directness of Norwegian Wood, but combined with some of those sort of lighter surreal elements of his other novels. It never fully goes there. There's just a really, really good blend of the Murakami surreal with the kind of like focused emotional reality of the characters. And next up, I really enjoyed the sort of unrequited love triangle thing that we have going on. It's not your traditional love triangle scenario, and it's played around with in different ways, especially when we start looking at the kind of the sort of other reality that's almost explored or sort of hinted at within its pages. Yeah, there's just something that about the sort of twist on the love triangle theme that I think Murakami is doing really well. And finally, I really liked the sort of open-ended nature of this novel. Now, I know open-ended novels is not everybody's cup of tea, and that sometimes it just downright frustrates people. I am more in the camp of I'm not a fan of open-ended novels. I think kind of 9 times out of 10, it's just a bit lazy. It's just a bit lazy. However, if it's done right and if the reader is given enough information, like lots of information, and everything feels sort of complete, but the open-endedness allows us as a reader to sort of come up with our own endings, to come up with our own meanings that do feel logical to the information we've been given, then I love them. And with this novel, yeah, I think that's done just right. When I finished it, I just sat for a moment, like 5-10 minutes, and I was pondering kind of like, what does it all mean? What is the ending? And I came up with like 3 possible endings, one that I think is correct. and then I did a bit of Googling, and there are so many different sort of like reactions and different explanations of what people think the ending means. And all of them have a logic. And therefore, I think to myself, yeah, well done. Murakami, you've created an open-ended novel that actually leads to a nice amount of exploration and sort of further thinking from its readers. And just before I get onto my negatives, I wanted to quickly mention that there isn't that many mentions of breasts in this book. It's still kind of in there. I don't think Murakami could ever write a novel where it isn't sort of in there. But the good thing about this is it feels authentic to the story being told. Those moments where it happens feels like there's a purpose there and a drive towards the characters and their desires. In other novels, it has sometimes just stood out like a sore thumb. Like, why did we need that scene of the character just talking about her breasts for 3 pages? And it happens often. And it's the one thing that I just really dislike about his writing, but it's normally the only thing I dislike about his writing. But thank God there is not that much titty titty bang bang in this novel. What didn't I like? There's only really one thing. As much as I enjoyed how short this novel was and how focused it is, and how, yeah, it's really stripped back and we can just sort of go with the flow, I did feel myself yearning to just get a little bit more information on Miyu and Sumire. Just a little bit more sort of backstory there, just a little bit more into their headspace. And the novel does do this. It does do it. So it's not like it's not doing the thing I want it to do. I just wanted more of it. And that's purely a me thing. To a lot of people, they will not care. But for me, yeah, I just wanted them to be just a little bit richer than they were. Right, there you go. But before I wrap up with my little conclusion and rating, let's play a little bit of Murakami Bingo. It's Murakami Bingo time, everybody. Get your bingo cards at the ready. Here we go. So, a mysterious woman. Do we have a mysterious woman in this novel? Well, Sumire and Miyu are both quite mysterious in their own way. There isn't like a mysterious woman that like we know nothing about, but I'm going to check this one off. I think, yeah, mysterious woman, yes. Ear fetish, no. To best of my recollection, there is no mention of ears. A dried up well. There is mention of wells. I can't remember now if when they're mentioned, they're dried up. But there is a mention of wells, which feels like a bit of a unique thing. So yes, I'm going to check that one off. Something vanishes. Absolutely, Sumire vanishes. Feeling of being followed. Yes, Miyu in the story that she tells, she feels like she's being followed. Boom. Unexpected phone call. Of course there's an unexpected phone call. Bam. Cats. Oh my God, we got some cat stories. There's so many cat stories. I love it. All the cats up in there, cat stories are told. Old jazz record. No, there's a lot of mention of music in this. Kay and Sumire talk about music, compositions, composers, classical music, but there is no mention of old jazz records in this one. An urban ennui. Oh, we're loving that ennui. There's ennui all over the shop. Yes, there's urban ennui. Supernatural powers. Well, a character doesn't necessarily possess any supernatural powers, but there is a kind of supernatural thing kind of going on in the sort of like undercurrents of this novel. So yes, I'm going to tick that off. Running. No. To the best of my knowledge, there is no mention of running. Secret passageways. There's sort of mention of possible little passageways here and there, but I don't think there's any kind of exploration of a secret passageway, so I'm going to go no. Free space. I've looked at Murakami bingo cards many times in the past, and every single time I've not known what free space means. I've Googled it. I've even put Murakami free space. What does it mean? Free space in novels, free space in fiction, and I just can't get it. So I'm feeling incredibly thick. I imagine the answer is very, very simple. So if someone, please, in the comments below, let me know. Put me out of my misery. Train stations. I don't know. There's flights mentioned. There's boats mentioned. Maybe there's a train journey in there somewhere, but I can't remember, so I'm going to say no. Historical flashback? No. Precocious teenager? No. Cooking? Yes, there is a mention of food and cooking in restaurants, and it does. Murakami brings it to life nicely, so I'm going to tick that one off. Speaking to cats? No, there's a mention of cats, but there is no speaking to cats. Parallel worlds? Yeah, I mean, it depends on your interpretation of this novel, but I'm gonna go yes. Weird sex? No, I don't think there's any weird sex in this novel. There's like weird intimate moments, these sort of intimate things that happen between characters, but as far as just like straight up weird sex is concerned, this novel doesn't have it. A Chip Kid cover. I think this means a cover that sort of like everything on the cover perfectly sums up what the novel means. And I don't know, there's so many sort of covers to this book that I can't tell you, but I'm going to go, yeah, probably at some point one of the covers did this. Tokyo at night. Yes, we get a bit at night time. Unusual name. I don't know. An unusual name. Miyu, I know I've met a Miyu in the past. I've never met a Sumire, but I don't know if I wouldn't say that's an unusual name. I'm going to go no unusual names. A faceless villain. No, I'm not going to go there. That is up for interpretation, but no. And vanishing cats. I'm going to go no, there's no vanishing cats. Is there vanishing cats? No, there's no vanishing cats. So that's not too bad. Quite a few things ticked off on the list there. Yeah, this novel's done pretty well with the Murakami bingo. Overall, Sputnik Sweetheart to me is a captivating yet haunting meditation on love, loneliness, and identity that sort of explores the inexplicable gaps between people. I thought this novel was excellent, and I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5. Have you read this book? And if so, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? How does it compare to other Murakami novels? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all on the next one.